Welcome back to the course. So today we're actually going to go over our first Java program. We're going to talk about the parts of the program itself. We're just going to kind of walk through what each part is doing when you write a Java program. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up IntelliJ. This is what you're going to see kind of the first time you open it. So right now we're going to create a new project. All this stuff we're just going to leave alone. We're not going to change any of this as of right now. We're just going to click Next. Create a project from template. So to start with, we're going to do this. We're going to create a project from template. We're going to make a command line app. So select that. We're going to click Next. We're going to call this Simple Java Program. You can save it to any location you want, but bear in mind, this is a real good way to start organizing your folders and your projects together. That way, you're not just dropping on the desktop or something along those lines. This base package is basically your company domain, but it's a backwards domain, so it's com.company. Okay, if your company was called, let's say, Apple, it would be com.apple. So we're gonna hit finish. You don't have to worry about this. We're gonna hit finish. IntelliJ will build out the project. It's created this program from a template for us. So what is this all doing? I know this kind of looks confusing, right? Package, we saw that package com.company, right? We just talked about that. A package is kind of like a folder on the desktop or anything like that, a folder in your computer. It's just an organizational tool used to organize basically files in your program. Public class main. Okay, what does this actually mean? Well, public, this is a descriptive keyword for an access modifier. What does that mean? Well, don't worry about that right now because we're going to get into that later on down the road. As of right now, just know that this means that it's accessible to everything in your program. Class. Well, this is another keyword. As you can see, all these words that are keywords are highlighted in orange. Well, class, this is another keyword that we're going to get into later on down the road. Don't worry about it too much right now. All you need to know as of right now is this class is a container in Java, and it's named main. So the class is named main. Everything inside these curly braces is inside this class main. Like I said, don't worry if that doesn't make any sense right now. We're going to get into that. It's all going to make sense down the road. This right here is what's called a method declaration. So as you can see, we see public again. Well, public's up here. So we have a access modifier. Static, this is another access modifier, but like I said, we're going to get into that. Void, don't worry too much about that. All this is saying is what kind of data it's going to return. And when it's void means nothing in programming. So it's not going to return any kind of value. Main. Main is a special type of method in Java. So every Java program has a main method. It has to have a main method to run. Everything starts in the program from this main method. And this is what's so special about this method is it's the main method. It has to be there to run. So to start with, let's just write something to the screen real quick. So in all programming languages and everything else, we do what's called a hello world or a test to make sure your program runs. This is going to set up everything and make sure that our program's ready to go through the IDE and that nothing got messed up when it was created. So what we're going to say is we're going to type in system, and it's going to be an uppercase S, system dot out dot print line. And then we're going to put parentheses behind this, and you can see we're getting this little red squiggly back here. We're getting an error. This is what an error looks like in IntelliJ. So when you get an error, you're going to see the little squiggly. You'll also see over here in the corner, you'll see an analysis of what the error is, and it'll tell you what line it is. If you come over here, it's going to say expected a semicolon. Okay? In everything in Java, and actually a lot of programming languages in general, to end a statement or to end a line, we don't use a period like you would in, let's say, writing. We use a semicolon. And what that does is that tells Java that, hey, I saw this semicolon. That means this is the end of that statement. Let's go down to the next statement. This one's done. How are we going to get this to print something? Well, this right here, if you kind of read through it, system.out.println, you can kind of deduce of what this is going to do. It's something to do with the system. We don't really know what that all means. Out, well, I mean, you can kind of think it might print something out. And then print line, so it's probably going to print a line of text, or it's going to print something out to a console, right? So to get it to do that, we're going to have to do double quotes. And the reason we're doing double quotes is because we're going to write a string. And like I said, don't worry too much about all that. I know that's probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but it will later on. We're going to go through all this. And what do we want to write? We want to write hello world. Okay? And that's all we want. Maybe even a exclamation point. We have the parentheses at the end. In double quotes, we have hello world, and then a semicolon at the end to complete our statement. So to run that, over here you're going to see little arrows. If you click on it, you can hit run main. Okay? You can also go up here once you've ran it and built the program. You'll see this run also. You can also right click on the program and hit run main. There's 3 different ways to run this. Once the program is built, you'll see all these kind of come alive, and like I said, we're going to go through all this in upcoming videos. It'll all make total sense. So let's just run this. We're going to hit run main. Now down here we're going to see it's building, and now we get this pop-up. Well, this is a console window, and look, we've printed out hello world. Play around with this a little bit, because we figured out that, okay, well, if we use this, well, maybe we could write another one in here, system.out.println, hello world. Let's say my name is, oh, sorry about that. My name is Travis. So let's run this again. And now we say, hello world, my name is Travis. And we can come down here and do this again. For a shortcut, and I'll try going through shortcuts as much as possible in IntelliJ. If we're going to type out system.out.println, you can type S-out and then hit enter, and that will autofill system.out.println for you. Programming is fun. So now you can see we have 3 different statements here, all of them ending with a semicolon. All of them inside the parentheses have writing, which are in double quotes, and we're printing all these out to the console by using this call. Okay, system.out.println. So if we run this, hello world, my name is Travis, programming is fun. So this is a very, very simple Java program. Nonetheless, this is a program. This is something that you wrote, that you're telling the computer what you want it to do, and the computer is giving you something back. This is a very, very incredible feeling. If this is your first time ever programming, you should feel very proud of doing this kind of thing. This is something that less than probably 10% of the entire world can do. I'm going to stop right here. We'll move on to the next one, and we'll go through the print and print line methods more, and we'll kind of walk through what we did here in more depth. But I wanted to just give a brief overview of how you print something to the console, the parts of a Java program in general, and I hope you're excited about programming. This is the very beginning, but this is a very, very fun process when you start going through. Okay, well, I will see you in the next video.